Hey, good afternoon. This is John Girdwood. It is a beautiful day for a screencast, and I'm going to do three today. The first one is about my teaching philosophy, showing you the method that I use for teaching all courses, but this applies to online courses. I use the same philosophy this summer as I do in my fall and winter classes where I'm lecturing. My summer class is an online course. My second screencast today is going to be about how to write my final project because my entire semesters are based on a final project output. I take the students through a journey um, that results in a final project, which is a 12-page paper. So the second screencast is about the 12-page paper and the steps to get to it. The third screencast is going to be about the use of social media for online and lecture courses, actually. So all three of these screencasts apply to both online and lecture in-class courses. I'm using Prezi to do my presentations today, and that's free. So go to Prezi.com and you can get to that service for free. And I'm also using ScreenFlow to do my screencast, and I believe that is a paid thing, but I've had that for a while, so I don't remember. On to the presentation. Okay, this presentation is called Sociological Journey, Taking a Successful Trip Through the Semester. There are 4 slides. It's a rather short presentation. The journey that I'm talking about is a semester-long process of assignments that results in a final final product of a written paper. Students have the opportunity to do a variety of formats for their final project, but what I want them to do is learn how to write through a process, how to revise, and also have something at the end that they can show for their work. My teaching philosophy is based on these 4 things. Of course, I want students to learn sociology. I want them to do something, and I want them to make something result of their work. And of course, I want them to remember something sociological. All those things are sociological. They're going to learn theories and methods. They're going to apply those theories and methods to actual research through writing an article or a proposal. They can use it for grad school applications, and I tell them that, or scholarship applications. And hopefully that they will, something will sink in, and they'll remember their approach, at least their method and their approach to the topic in a sociological way and method. I use a 7-step program, and I stress this to students at the beginning just to remember 7 things. And I'll tell them their assignments, which are an introduction to sociological theories assignment. This introduces the point of view and the perspective, the social scientific method, so that students understand these are not just opinion papers, nor are they philosophy or political science or other subjects. The second step is to write scientifically. I teach students some tricks like Zotero and how to use the library if they don't already know how to use the library to access online journals. Third step is to workshop the ideas. That's class discussion, even online or in class. Then revising and refining the perspective, getting towards that social scientific method of writing and producing output. Analyzing the greats, prior literature. So I teach them how to do a literature review. That's not only to absorb the prior material from sociologists, but also to analyze it. So there's a critique going on there. I tell them it's just like if they wanted to be a professional basketball player, they would have to watch Michael Jordan play and critique his game. You don't just become a professional basketball player or professional golfer as good as Tiger Woods by having never watched the greats. So I use that analogy to help them understand why they have to analyze the greats. We then do a peer review and collaborate so that they have feedback on their papers from their own peers, and they can understand what the peer review process is. Then we have a final finished capstone product. I encourage students to actually do research, write an article. You have to watch out for IRB, of course, and if they don't want to go through those steps, they can offer a proposal, or they can do a wide variety of other things. I've had someone analyze or write poetry, and what I had her do was write a page of poetry and then write a page with sources. So she had 6 sources to explain to me what the poem was and how it was a sociological theory or approach to a topic. And she actually did a very good job. I also offered some students an opportunity to do a rap CD in the vein of, say, a socially conscious rapper like Common or Tupac or someone, but that never actually panned out. My grading scale, I have a 1,000-point scale, and I have 8 assignments in there, 3 50-point essays for 150 points, 3 opportunities for participation, totaling 150 points, a midterm worth 200, and a final product worth 500, and that equals 1,000 points total. Of course, that's 8 things, as you can see, but that allows me for some flexibility. So those are my 7 steps and my 8 assignments, and how I get to my 1,000-point scale, which if you use base 10, it's a lot easier to remember or figure out where you're at. First, I have the students write one page. They pick any topic. This will be after an introductory lecture. So if they're interested in race issues, gender, power, workplace issues, some of my students at community college and lifelong learners are interested in workplace struggles or global issues. And if the students are like me, they'll take sociology of sports. They pick a topic and they write one page about why it interests them, so that we can have the students get engaged, especially in my intro or family courses, about topics that are interesting to them. And hopefully that will spur them to be more thorough in their research and be excited about what they produce. The second assignment is a one-page format using my outline structure. I'll show you that. Here I have students basically copy my precise format. I tell them you should write your first sentence just like that. So this is how I know students are paying attention to the directions. Their first sentence will be something like, my main interest is wealth as it is conveyed from generation to generation. And then I have them bullet point 6 things, which will turn into their variables, hopefully. And then end with a research question. Here's my example. How did children of wealthy parents have more opportunities than poor children to becoming wealthy in America? So I have students, when I'm doing an in-class, give a 5-minute class presentation on their outline after they've written it. I want it to be very specific, so I write on the board theory, methods, sample, hypotheses, and expectations. And so the students can get up in front of the class or online in a discussion forum and really explain those elements of their project. I just get points for that. I consider it a benefit to the students just workshopping their ideas. Then I have them take it to the writing center. A lot of times I will have offer 50 points just if they take their work to the writing center, or if they take it to the library and they say they need 6 sources. The library will help them find online journal articles, and I give them 50 points just for going to the writing center. Then I have a midterm, which is 6 pages. Usually what I do is I have the students do 3 article reviews, each 2 pages. So the article review, the first one, I might give them an article. The second one, I might tell them the journal to get it from, maybe ASR if it's an intro course. And then they'll have a source to go along with each of those for comparison. So their midterm is 6 pages. That's 3 2-page article reviews and 6 sources. Or they can do an annotated bibliography. It's really up to you, but what I tell students with the midterm is that their 6 pages that they write can actually go into the final project as their literature review. Believe that I'm giving them the tools to write a 12-page publishable article, and that they should understand that how beneficial that is to them, and how if they use the tricks and tools that I teach them, it will not be as hard as they think. And I also tell them they can turn it in as early as they want. So this is not something I spring on them at the end. In other words, if we have a 12-week course, they could write a page per week, and it should be pretty manageable. So here's a sample objective that I've written now, very generic and basic, but it will be to describe and analyze a social problem. And what I do with assignment 1 generally is I have them describe the social problem. I teach them what a social problem is, but then it's up to them to describe it. Then with the midterm, that's where we get into the analysis. We can critique the prior literature, and they can analyze social problems through other perspectives. They form their own point of view with the first assignment and look at other perspectives with the second main assignment, which is the midterm, aside from the free points they get for going to the writing center. Then with the final product, that's where they describe and analyze. They insert their own research compared to the research of others in the prior literature, and they come up with a final product. It's a very simple outcome, and it's a very, I think, simple process if they understand that each step is intended to get them to the final product, and that the assignments aren't separate, they're steps, and they can be used for the final product. So essentially the first assignment, the first one page, if developed well, could be the first page of the final product. The 6 pages of the midterm could be 4 pages of literature review in the final. Then we talk about method, sample, data collection, and how to write, and then it comes out very well. And they have a 12-page publishable article proposal. Even as freshmen, I've seen some great things. So that's my pedagogical process. I hope you got something out of it. Taking the journey through the semester, I think, is an important outlook to have, because if students start to divide up theories or divide up assignments, sometimes it causes a very fragmented semester. But if they understand that they have to take each step, they will take each step. If they miss a step, then they realize that it's very important to follow each step in the process. And I think the cumulative process and journey is very beneficial to the students, and I've seen some great things. So hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me through MSU's email. Thanks. Both online and lecture in-class courses. I'm using Prezi to do my presentations today, and that's free. So go to Prezi.com and you can get to that service for free. And I'm also using ScreenFlow to do a journey that results in a final project, which is a 12-page paper. So the second screencast is about the 12-page paper and the steps to get to it. The third screencast is going to be about the use of social media for online and lecture courses, actually. So all 3 of these screencasts apply to both the summer, as I do in my fall and winter classes where I'm lecturing. My summer class is an online course. My second screencast today is going to be about how to write my final project, because my entire semesters are based on a final project output. I take the students through my screencast, and I believe that is a paid thing, but I've had that for a while, so I don't remember. On to the presentation. Okay, this presentation is called Sociological Journey, Taking a Successful Trip Through the Semester. There are 4. Hey, good afternoon. This is John Girdwood. It is a beautiful day for a screencast, and I'm going to do 3 today. The first one is about my teaching philosophy, showing you the method that I use for teaching all courses, but this applies to online courses. I use the same philosophy